Well, welcome back to the Blue and Beyond podcast right here in Seton Hall University. Once again, my name is Anthony Ricchio. I'm here with Joseph Ganji and Justin Mayuski. And funny enough, right, it's funny how this all began, right? And a lot of it began based on the relationships we've made between each other, right? And those strong connections. And Joe, I remember it like it was yesterday, when you walked into my office in order to obviously kind of understand what was going on when it came to our U-Life class, and then just in regards to that relationship and how we developed that relationship going forward to the point now where, you're like my right-hand man, right? And so, and the same thing with Justin, right? And then a part of it was just you being friends with Joe, reaching out to me, meeting with me in the spring for professional development, and then obviously we've built a bond and all that. And so, part of this episode obviously is going to be about exploring how we make those connections and those relationships with people here on campus, specifically starting in your first year experience, right? And so I think it's just important and just to highlight that because it's such a huge part of the college experience.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think a funny part that you brought up there was kind of how we met. And I do remember that first day I kind of went into your office and I was a little bit unsure of what to expect. And it's honestly since then, so much has happened, but I feel like it's truly like you never know when those people are going to come into your life. And I think that's what makes it so special. I think we built such a great relationship through working together, supporting students. But I've also gotten to know so much more about you. You've gotten to know so much more about me and have been such an incredible mentor for me and my development as a person, professionally, academically, socially, always seeing the good in me, always pushing me to be the best version of myself. And I feel like I really need that. And for you to always see that with me and take that chance with me and to help me become a better person, I'm truly forever grateful for everything you've done for me.
And I think what's kind of funny about this too is like I think you guys are like the best of friends when I guys see you guys. And I realized that you guys did not meet until you guys both came to Seton Hall.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, no, we met at Seton Hall freshman year. Different majors and everything. Really around like finals time of fall semester, when we, locked in for our classes, started studying together. We were involved in similar stuff. But that's really when Joe and I became really good friends. And then just since then, our friendship's grown. Now we're roommates, peer advisors together, in a bunch of different organizations and clubs together here on campus. So it's really just been great seeing how those relationships then translate to the things you do on campus and really your character in general.
Yeah, and it's funny you talk about that because now you're talking about how you guys are giving back to the school.
Yeah.
Right, together, right, from just a simple meetup, right, and just a simple commonality that you guys had now leads us into giving something back to people, and then hopefully understanding that like, hey, I can really make some connections and relationships, and we talk about it from a professional sense, but at the end of the day everyone's friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like 25 years from now, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's my student. Like, no, we're going to be friends. You know, like that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think, I think understanding that there's such a great opportunity here for those relationships and those connections to be built. And you're talking about like bonds that will last for a lifetime.
Exactly.
Right? And so I think we have a great episode today, right, where we're going to examine a peer advisor and another advisor as well, and their relationship and how it developed, and then also someone here who's a master's student, right? Is a current graduate student, right? And just how their experience at Seton Hall with the relationships and their connections that they made brought them back here and is really helping them go forward in regards to their personal story and their career arc, right? So I'm excited for it. All right, and I'm not going to waste any more time talking about it, so we're going to move forward to our next segment.
Hi, everyone. My name's Amelia. I'm a third-year peer advisor here at Seton Hall. I'm a senior. This is my last semester. I'm a criminal justice major, and I'm minoring in political science and legal studies and business.
Hi, my name is Zoe Blackwell. This is my second year working at Seton Hall, and I work for the Center for Academic Success as a student success advisor.
And what's our relationship to each other? Well, I am Professor Blackwell's peer advisor in class in her university life class.
This semester.
And last semester I was in her study skills class. So that was a hoot, if I may. But
yeah. Well, how did we meet?
Okay.
The story changes each time, so I'd love to hear Amelia's story first.
Okay.
Because I think I remember things a little bit better.
Yeah, we don't agree on the story, actually. I actually really have terrible memory, so I don't even remember myself. But I will say, I remember I used to work with Lisa Healy, and she's no longer with us, unfortunately, but she was an amazing advisor, and I had her.
She's still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive. She's still alive. That's on me. She no longer works for the Center for Academic Success, and we miss her deeply. However, she was a great advisor, and I had the opportunity to work with her twice, and through her, I met Zoe, because their offices were right next to each other. So whenever I had my meetings with Lisa, then I would always peek into Zoe's, and I remember one time I literally just went like, hey, and I just started talking to her. But like, that's what I kind of do. I just go up to people and I just start talking, and I see where that gets me in life. So I guess that's my story of how we met. But
Okay.
yeah, what do you think?
Okay. Well, Lisa Healy was also my boss, so I always, when your offices are next to each other, you hear everything. So I was like, what could Amelia possibly be talking about? But that's not what I remember. I remember meeting you during my first orientation. You were an orientation leader, and you were helping my students register for classes. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's from Elmwood Park. Like, that's right by me. So I was like, hi, Amelia, my name is Zoe. And I introduced myself. And then I had a familiar face. And then you taught with Lisa, and I would see you in class all the time. And then you did peek your head in. And I work with undecided students specifically. So Lisa and I sat down before she left, and her and I were thinking who would be a great peer advisor to work with undecided students. And we looked at each other at the same time, and we're like, Amelia. So we immediately checked your schedule. It fit perfectly into your classes. And so I reached out to you. I said, I need to talk to you. Please come to my office.
Yeah, because what's actually funny is that I didn't really, it's not that I didn't want to, I just wasn't interested in teaching study skills or study strategies that semester, just because I had a lot on my plate. But then I got a Teams message, and then I thought I was in trouble, because that's typically the pattern. I get a Teams message and I'm like, okay, what did I do? Like, I don't know, but yeah.
And so Amelia agreed to be my peer advisor, and that was the start of a beautiful friendship, I would say.
Yeah.
I had never taught the undecided class before, neither had Amelia, so this is something the two of us were going into together. This was a group of students who no longer had the student success advisor that they knew. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know who Amelia was. So we had to really start from scratch and figure out how do we cater to these students and how can we build connections with them. The class is very journal-based, discussion-based, and Amelia and I were trying to plot what could we do with these students, what can we do to get them engaged. And we realized they love Kahoot, and they love to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were definitely two common denominators between every single person in that class. So I would make a Kahoot every single class, and sometimes, like, it would relate to the lesson, but sometimes it would be just kind of random, just to kind of get them warmed up and talkative, because it was also a morning class. So like, if students
9:30 on Wednesdays.
Yeah, so 9:30 on Wednesdays, everyone had to be there, including
for a class
Amelia.
that's not mandatory.
Exactly. A 1-credit course as well, but so it was kind of like difficult in the beginning to kind of get them engaged, and then a lot of them didn't really know each other either, as you kind of said earlier. So the Kahoots definitely helped. But it was definitely fun for me. And then we also did different prizes for whoever won. We did, at the end of the semester, we did like a whole little like what was it? Like
we did a brunch.
A brunch. So that was really fun.
Bagels, fruit,
yeah,
muffins,
and that's when I first tried Wegmans cream cheese, and it was great. I tried it on my bagel. I highly recommend. But yeah.
This is your plug. If you have not had Wegmans cream cheese, it is a game changer.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, and then I also got a chance to bond with a lot of those students, and I see them on campus all the time. One of our students, we clicked immediately, and because she's a criminal justice major, I believe she's changing it or like in the middle of it. We don't really know, but either way, it's just like cool because we clicked and we connected, and then so I kind of had that opportunity to, again, that's one of my favorite parts about being a peer advisor, just connecting with the students. So even though initially I wasn't interested in teaching that particular class, I definitely was glad that I ended up doing it. So that's definitely
and
something.
I was so proud or happy to be on that journey with you. I don't think anyone else would have been in it with me, especially as we navigate something that neither of us have ever done before.
Yeah.
And then the fall, this is Amelia's last semester, breaks my heart, but I'm so excited to see what she accomplishes in the future. I knew I had to have her as my peer advisor one last time for university life. We have a class of computer science and mechanical engineering students with a few business and diplomacy. And Amelia right off the bat was like, what is this? What did you get me into?
Yeah. No, like all of them are so incredibly smart. They're so intelligent. And sometimes I'm like, wow, like maybe I don't belong in this class and it's a university class. But no, but obviously I work very well with them. I think I'm also very lucky to have them as my last class. I think I've raved about them to absolutely everyone or anyone who would listen to me whenever I'm in CAS. Joe, my coordinator, like I've told him so many times, like I love this class. But yeah, it just really incentivizes me, I guess, also considering it's my last semester, to just kind of do more. And I think considering this is also my third year being a peer advisor, I've been trying to do more and more every single semester, which has been just perpetuating my growth. So that's something I'm also very appreciative of. Outside, we literally saw one of our students too, just sitting there. We told our students about the podcast and they were all so happy for us. And then they were giving suggestions on what to name the podcast, even though there was already a name created. But yeah, I'm very grateful. So every Tuesday, 11 a.m., right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I hope I know that. Every Tuesday, 11 a.m., we have a blast in class. But yeah, registration's coming up, so now we're working on that. But we definitely have other fun things planned for the classroom, but that's something.
And I would say us already knowing how each other works in the classroom from last spring to being in the classroom this fall together, I think the students pick up on our energy and how we communicate with one another. And I think that also creates like a better overall environment. I mean, the students themselves are phenomenal. Their orientation leader wished they had them as their own students. Yeah. But I would say their energy and then us just knowing how to kind of bounce off of one another with ideas in the classroom just becomes such a natural conversation. Yeah. I think has helped us really as well.
It's definitely just that. Like, obviously in the beginning it was different because I didn't really know you, so I always get nervous whenever I start working with new people, but there was no reason to be nervous. But I feel like now, especially our weekly meetings that we have to have, like, to me, like, they are meetings, but to me they're not really meetings anyway, because we just, like, again, like, those ideas, we bounce those off each other. We kind of already know what we have planned. If I have any ideas, I feel really comfortable telling you about them, and then Zoe also has a lot of different ideas too, so then we kind of like bounce that off each other. But yeah.
And I would say like, or just like Amelia is such, I just adore you. And even if I'm having like the worst day ever, like I'm walking on campus, it's like a ray of sunshine just approaching me out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, there she is.
So nice. Thank you.
So I was working on Amelia's midterm evaluation for her peer advisor job. And I did get emotional. I was like, what am I going to do without her? So what's next? What does that mean for our?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Relationship.
I don't know, but we'll definitely have monthly at least check-ins, like definitely dinner or something. We'll see, but I don't know. But for me, it's been the same thing because last year especially, I had like a hard time I went through. So Zoe was there for me all the time. So it's like even though it's a support inside the classroom, and Zoe's also my student success advisor for school. So it's like, even though I have her in those capacities, I can also have her there just like as a supportive figure, as a friend even. I'd say, at least, you know, after I graduate for sure, I could say that very confidently. Then it's very nice just to have someone there that you can always go to and like you can trust as well, because I know whatever I tell Zoe, like if I want to keep that private, like I can just get advice about what I want to do and how I want to go about things. And then I can just kind of make that decision on my own and just do that. So yeah, but I really appreciate you, so thank you for everything. But
always happy to be here and support you, even when you unregister yourself for classes after ad drop. But
okay, I did do that. So I did this semester again, my last semester, I unregistered myself from all of my classes. This was after ad drop, and I think it was literally, I was like 10 p.m. problem. I was Teams messaging, like praying like everyone would answer me, even though like no one's probably gonna answer me, but we fixed that, so it's all okay, it's all good. But I'm enrolled, I'm registered, and I will be graduating. Yeah, I will be graduating.
Fall.
Yeah.
What would you say your favorite memory being a peer advisor has been?
My favorite memory being a peer, honestly,
or in the classroom with our year experience that we've had.
I've made playlists for our students before, so that was definitely fun because I'd get their input, and then also just learning what they like. And again, a big part of peer advising for me is just being there for the students and kind of being there to connect with them, even if they don't necessarily want to connect with me, I guess, because sometimes you never know who you're going to encounter in terms of students. But I love to always be there. And then I don't know what the question was, so I'm just rambling now. What was the question?
What was your favorite thing that we've done in U-Life together, or with our undecided students? I'll tell you. That Pop-Tart tasting we did.
Oh, we did do Pop-Tart tasting. One of our students loved Pop-Tarts, so then in order to get them engaged, again, this was another idea, we did a Pop-Tart tasting, and we ranked them. But this was related to the lesson at hand, so keep that
Because
in
I
mind.
had said to them, have you ever taken the personality test? Like, what Pop-Tart flavor are you based on your personality? And half of them had never had Pop-Tarts before.
Yeah.
So that turned into a 14 flavor Pop-Tart tasting, a rating scale, a reflection on Pop-Tarts, and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. My favorite, honestly, I don't even know what my favorite would be. I really like tried to be present in every single lesson we've done. I've really liked every single lesson. Our students like to be competitive, especially this semester. So I feel like literally anything we do, any class assignment, anything we do, typically, like, we've done Jeopardy, and I hate Jeopardy. Like, I absolutely hate Jeopardy. It confuses me. We did that for PA training. I hated it. I hate Jeopardy. I'll say that right now. But we did Jeopardy with our class this semester, and I actually really enjoyed it, and it was fun. One of the questions was actually, it was about me, not to sound narcissistic, but it was about me, and it was like a bonus question. It was for all the points at the end. That's
What
it
are
was.
your 2 majors?
Yeah, what are my 2 majors? And then one of our students...
minors. You don't have 2 majors.
Right, sorry. Minors. And one of our students literally looked up my LinkedIn. So I think that was like really like a good memory. I feel like all of them just helped me make good memories. But yeah. Oh, and in terms of peer advising, like generally, I think PA bonding, depending, it doesn't even matter what it is. I feel like we just did like the campfire, and the s'mores we did was very, very fun. But that's what I'd say.
How do you feel walking into the real world?
Unprepared. No, just kidding. I mean, like, I feel like there's always a sense of unpreparedness. But I feel in terms of the skills I've built here at Seton Hall, I feel very prepared. I feel like I have those soft skills people are looking for. Hopefully, we'll see what kind of jobs I get offered in the future. But I do feel prepared in terms of that. Obviously, there's just that uncertainty, so there's that kind of fear factor. But I'm overall very excited. So.
Well, I'm excited for you, and
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to be there every step of the way for you.
Thank you. And
as
I'm very
we embark on this new journey
Yeah.
into the real world.
And I'm very grateful to have been working with you for the past almost 2 years.
Shout out Lisa Healy.
Yeah, shout out Lisa Healy. She is alive and well. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name's Jules.
And my name's Maddie.
And we're going to be asking Seton Hall students what their favorite holiday food item is.
Let's get started.
Hi guys, my name is Elena, and my favorite holiday item is pumpkin pie.
Ooh, but with a whipped cream or vanilla ice cream.
Oh, it's got to be whipped cream. Ice cream is too much.
Mm.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We got a good segment here planned for everyone today. We got a very special guest today. So, Grace, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Ferguson. I am a graduate student here at Seton Hall. I am in the MBA program studying supply chain management. I recently graduated from Seton Hall, got my undergrad in psychology, minors in business and graphic design. I guess I was pretty involved in undergrad. I was a peer advisor for 2 years and then a PA coordinator in my senior year. And I was involved in clubs like Habitat for Humanity and University Blood Initiative. So, currently I work as a graduate assistant in the Stillman Information Office, so kind of advising students, helping out with registration for business students. So, yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know Grace, she was actually like a Hall of Fame PA. Like, if you were to have like a Hall of
That's
Fame
crazy.
for peer advisors, Grace would be in it.
Oh.
And you could always see that the way she led, she was always so happy and so fulfilled in her role as a PA and a peer advisor coordinator. She was actually my coordinator my first semester as a PA last year, and she was so like influential for me and my growth and my development. So I want you to kind of like, if you want to talk a little bit more about that experience for you.
Yeah. I feel like you said, like, I was always so happy, which
Yeah.
I genuinely was. Like,
Yeah.
I absolutely loved being a peer advisor. If I could still be a PA,
Yeah,
I would be
yeah.
there every step of the way, I promise. I feel like since I applied my freshman year, and I kind of had my PA, and I was thinking, like, I was sitting in U-Life, and I was like, I feel like I could do this. Like, I feel like I was so nervous coming into my freshman year, and always throughout high school, and I think even earlier than that, I knew I was like, when I have to go to college, like, I'm going to be so scared. And so I was, but obviously got through it, and I was like, you know what, I feel like I could hopefully help, some freshman students maybe feeling the same way I was feeling. So applied my freshman year, and I was so happy to get it. And then kind of just from sophomore year on, I absolutely fell in love with it. I think making connections with students, as well as advisors, and just building those relationships was like the core of what I love to do. And yeah, like I said, I would still be doing it. Like, I love it so much. So yeah, it's awesome. Amazing experience.
And Grace is actually underestimating herself by saying she was pretty involved on campus, because she was very involved, actually. Grace was the president of Habitat for Humanity, and that's actually where I met her, not through peer advisor. So, you know, you could see that, right? Like, being a leader on campus, being a PA coordinator, and that allowed you to then extend those leadership skills that you acquired to other positions, roles. Like, I know you were part of UBI as well.
Yeah.
Vice president, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And, you know, and through Habitat is where I met Grace, and then bonded more about, you know, when I applied to become a peer advisor and stuff. So that was great. I remember I got accepted to the position while we were on the Collegiate Challenge trip, which is a service.
I remember that so clearly, Justin. I was so happy for you. But I had no doubt in my mind that you would get it.
Which is a service trip that Habitat for Humanity does every spring break. So I just want to hear a little bit about, you know, how has being a peer advisor and a coordinator, how did that, you know, extend to relationships at Seton Hall, whether in the role or beyond the role in different positions?
Yeah, I think coming in, honestly, my freshman year of college, like, I was so quiet and so shy. I could not be talking to you right now. Like, and sometimes I'll admit, I still sometimes feel like that, a little nervous, but being a PA absolutely, like, opened up that door for me where I could, like, speak to a group of students, like, no problem, speak to advisors. Like, that kind of changed my world, because I felt like it was just so different from what I had previously felt like. I felt confident talking to other people and kind of sharing my experience. So yeah, I guess being a PA kind of taught me the skills to make relationships in other areas as well. We mentioned clubs, like meeting with club advisors is so important, even in like academics as a student. I would never used to be able to go up to a professor and just like start a conversation, but I feel like through being a PA and getting that exposure and experience with advisors and professors, I was able to kind of learn how to navigate that relationship. And now I have great, like, close relationships with my professors. I'm always, like, you know, looking forward to talking to them. And even in my job as a GA now, I work directly with Dean Pash, the Associate Dean of the Business School, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to navigate that relationship quite as well as I could have if I, you know, didn't have the PA position. So definitely, like, changed my world, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Grace, you kind of mentioned how, like, being a PA kind of allowed you to kind of develop those skills. And I think, you know, part of what I've received in the PA program is a lot of mentorship, a lot of support, whether it's me giving that support or receiving that. So are there any relationships that you made here at Seton Hall that you, like, truly value, or is there someone that within CAST or outside of CAST that's really, like, inspired you to become the person you are today? It could be an advisor or someone like that.
Yeah. First person that comes to my mind, Professor Rogers, Professor Caroline Rogers. She was,
She's the best.
yes, oh my gosh, 100%. She was my advisor. I taught ULife with her my very first year teaching it. And she, like, walked in the room, commanded the room, like, but so respectful and so kind and so caring with the way she talked to students, but the confidence she had, like, oh my gosh, like, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, like, I want to be Professor Rogers when I grow up. I don't care what, like, I'm doing. I don't, like, whatever it is, I want to be like her. And so I think it was just so rewarding to, like, for her to see my growth from, like, starting as kind of a timid sophomore to, like, growing. And she was at graduation, and, like, I just kind of full circle experience where she really just guided me every step of the way. And I feel like having someone be able to see your growth and progress is so amazing. Like you said, she's just a great mentor to me. And oh my gosh, like, couldn't rave enough about Professor Rogers, as I think we all know.
Yeah, Joe and I currently work with Professor Rogers, so we all know.
Gosh, you do?
Yeah, so we all know.
Lucky.
We all know how great she is. Yeah, no, and what was it for you that, you know, made you decide, like, I'm gonna apply for the coordinator position?
Yeah. Well, I actually applied going into my junior year.
Okay.
I did the interview and everything, and you had to come up with, like, a presentation, and it was a whole thing, and I didn't get it, and I was so upset because I obviously love being a PA, and I don't know, I just thought that, like, this could be a good fit for me, and I spent that year, and I was like, oh, like, I'm a little upset, but I feel like throughout that year, I learned so much and, like, was involved in so many other things on campus as well as a PA that I kind of needed that year to, like, understand myself better and how to best, like, serve the program and learn about the program a lot more. Right. So I knew, like, going to my senior year, I was like, okay, I'm going to reapply. Like, I want to try for this again. I feel like I could bring value to it. And, of course, just the love I have for the program and helping first-year students and coordinating PAs. Like, I just felt like I would really fit in that role. And so, luckily, second time around, got it and loved that job. Like, a little stressful, I will say. You are managing a lot, lots going on at all times, as I'm sure you know, Joe. But I wouldn't trade for the world. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
No, it's kind of interesting because I'm kind of thinking back to like and I remember like you would always say this to me like I'm super quiet, like how are you gonna like get me out of my shell?
Yeah,
but
that
like
was a whole
other
project.
people, but like other people like Justin, like he would always be like no, like there's another side. So I kind of find it interesting because I feel like when I applied to be a coordinator, I was like I don't know, like I feel like do people really know me? Like I was kind of quiet like you as well, but like. Honestly, you were saying I'm so glad I did too, because like even though you said like it's stressful, it's like really like a great opportunity, I think, to make those relationships and continue to mentor more people.
Yeah.
And I feel like along that whole journey too, you really discover a lot more about yourself and
100%.
and the potential you have, and the potential to bring other people around you to lead and reach a greater goal. So I think it's something super special of being in the coordinator role too.
100%. It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's
no,
worth
100%, 100%, definitely.
And now as a grad student, what have you taken from being a peer advisor, coordinator to, you know, you're in grad school now, you got big goals ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
How has, you know, whatever you learned from being a PA and just that whole experience, how is that extended now into grad school and your future plans?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, just the technical stuff. I'm love registration from being a PA. I love it so much, and like that's what I do almost all day. It's like in my graduate assistant job. So that's like technical stuff, right? I just like love advising students and helping them out in any way, and like meeting with them. I think overall I was just able to build so many skills like public speaking or like talking to professors and building those relationships, and that has helped me immensely. I think sometimes graduate courses, which I kind of suspected going in, but it's more so real now that I'm in them. I went right from undergrad to grad school, so there's some people who are working in the profession that they've, you know, a real job and a real profession, and I just came in here like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So I think building like those skills of like confidence and public speaking and being able to communicate with everyone, no matter who they are, I feel like really helped me in my coursework as well. Yeah, it's transition, but I think definitely the skills I learned as a PA has helped me a lot. Yeah.
And we all know how good of a PA you were. What was, you know, that experience like working with your students? Do you still have students today that you keep in touch with, or that?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I love my students.
Okay.
Yes, I like have, I don't know, as you guys know, it's just a different kind of relationship. It's almost like I want to always make sure they're okay. And I'll see my student, I'm like, how are your classes going? And I realize now, like, it's been years since they were my student. And they don't necessarily need that, like, PA checkup kind of thing.
Have
but
that,
it's,
like, in you.
It's in me to be like, is everything okay? Like, can I do anything? But yeah, oh my gosh. My students have been absolutely amazing. Like, I couldn't have asked for better students. And it's so rewarding to see how they grow.
Yeah,
I know I had a student, I think it was my second year as a PA, who I think last year during PA training came and spoke to us about her journey at Seton Hall. And oh my gosh, I was just like, I remember you. I remember you when you first started as a freshman, and she was kind of quiet, and she came into PA training to a whole room of 60 PAs to train them about the ministry, campus ministry. And oh my gosh, I was just so proud, and my heart was so full, and I was like, everyone, that's my student, like that was my student. So those relationships last forever, and I think I'll always feel like so excited to see them and just catch up with them. Yeah.
And I think that's really awesome. I think for me too, like I always say, it's the most fulfilling thing that I do on campus, and like just watching your students grow, and sometimes it's day to day, sometimes week to week, month to month, or it takes the whole year, but you really
a struggle.
Yeah, but you're really seeing how much they grow, and like then seeing them pursue leadership positions. I know it was really rewarding for me seeing like students that I had last year now become peer advisors. Like it's really full circle for me, and just seeing their capacity to also give back, because like I gave back to them, and now they want to share that same kind of capacity with others and build those relationships. And I think really it just comes back to like relationships and like realizing that they're the key to life, and you never know one person you meet at a random time. Like I never think to myself like, oh, my students are just a coincidence. Like I feel like they're mine for a reason, and you know the relationships you can really build with them.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
It's awesome.
It's have those relationships forever.
Definitely.
100%. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Grace. Well, thank you so much for joining and being here with us
you.
today. We wanted to get a grad student on who has been through the peer advisor program, and we thought Grace would be a great fit.
Definitely.
Just through your experience. You can't say Grace Ferguson's name in class without just like everyone smiling.
Yeah.
So,
Hall of Fame PA.
Hall of Fame PA.
Hall of
That's
Fame
right.
PA.
But yeah, thank you so much. For
Thank
being
you
here
so
with us.
much.
Thank you,
Great.
Grace.
Yeah, that's it. We're very happy to have Grace here today. Like I said, Joe, you want to say anything else? Or?
No, we're just really excited to keep recording these for you guys, keep highlighting the different experiences here. Obviously, this one was focused on relationships. We're going to have a lot more coming out for you guys, and we're really excited to see where we can take this.
Yeah, and definitely like bringing those new perspectives, students involved in different, organizations or, grad students. So I think it's good to get unique perspectives on, and that's our goal moving forward. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.